In this episode, we're going to visit the Forgotten Coast of Florida, then the Emerald Coast on our way to coastal Alabama, in the dead of winter. Still, we'll enjoy some perfect weather days, some not so perfect. We'll see some quirky roadside attractions and some required destinations. We'll sample the local cuisine as we usually do, as our winter mini-season continues.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
We begin this next adventure as we usually do lately, from our northern Florida retreat, also known as Pelicamp. I'm gonna put away the flag just in case we get bad weather, and off we go! It is such a beautiful day. Winter is Florida's best season. That is, unless you want to go to the beach. In that case, maybe not so much. Walter B's here is our closest gas station, convenience store, restaurant, and even tiki bar. And Perry, not a bad looking town, also known as the forest capital of Florida. And here we are making our way to the Panhandle proper, to this area which is called, with good reason, the Forgotten Coast. As we approach Panacea, here's a large RV park, and very soon we'll be seeing the Gulf of Mexico. But don't expect any white sand beaches yet. We won't be seeing those until we reach Mexico Beach. Here we are, finally driving across Ochlockonee Bay, pretty much the beginning of the Forgotten Coast of Florida, or at least the part that has a road along the coast that you can drive on. Such a thrill driving over the blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. You can think of the Forgotten Coast basically as this bump on the Panhandle. And we do have some beaches in this area, but they are not like the ones farther west. Definitely old Florida. Here's Ho Hum RV Resort. Very nice, we stayed here back in 2020. Here's Carabel, a small town that pretty much epitomizes the old Florida laid-back attitude. Home to the world's smallest police station. It is just this blue phone booth coming up here on the right. And they have great seafood. Back in 2020, we ate at Fathom's here, and it was really good, both the food and the ambience. And that's the reason why we're not stopping anywhere. We've been here before and we'll come back again, I promise, just not on this trip. Carabel Beach here, not bad, but nothing compared to the Barrier Island beaches like St. George Island, barely visible in the distance. Now we'll take the John Gorey Memorial Bridge onto Apalachicola, self-proclaimed the oyster capital of Florida. It is one of those towns we want to revisit in the future. It is a nice town, and we've been here before ever so briefly. We've just had a little bit of bad luck with timing and weather when it comes to Apalachicola. It is a very wooded part of Florida, that's for sure. It seems odd that it hasn't been developed more. Now arriving in Port St. Joe, and this is close enough to where we're staying for the next 2 days that we can make it a day trip, so we'll be back. It is a lovely town, but as I mentioned, not much of a beach unless we go to the barrier island across the bay. In any case, we're here in January, and even though the weather is lovely, it is still a bit cold to get in the water. Now this right here would be St. Joe Beach. Mexico Beach is next, and as we get closer to our destination, the beach itself gets progressively better. We definitely have to come back in summertime. Now entering the Central Time Zone and Mexico Beach proper. This whole area got decimated by Hurricane Michael back in October 2018, and even now, over 3 years later, we can still see signs of reconstruction here and there. Michael made landfall right here as a Category 5, and the storm surge alone must have been formidable, not to mention the wind and rain. We're staying at El Governor Resort and RV Park, which the hotel still seems to be under reconstruction, but the RV park is open, so let's drop Minitini 3 and go get something to eat. We're starving. Well, we just arrived here at Mexico Beach. This is called El Governor RV Resort, and it's on the other side of the road of US 98 from El Governor Hotel, which seems to be still under renovations after, this whole area got destroyed by Hurricane Michael. So this seems to be like a brand new RV park. Everything is brand new: the pedestals, the picnic tables, even the sewer receptacles. So yeah, I'm gonna explore the area. We're going back to Port St. Joe, to this place called The View on Old 98. It seems nice, it has good reviews. It is located in this resort-style planned community called Windmark Beach. It seems nice, but there's no one here. Well, that place was completely empty, and there's something about an empty restaurant that, I don't know. You wanna check out the pier? What is that? Is that Mexico Beach in the distance? Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna eat someplace else, but I couldn't resist the temptation to walk on the pier. Which is not really a pier, it's more like a boardwalk. Kind of, sort of. Let's go back to Mexico Beach. There seems to be a food truck. Well, it was actually a proper restaurant before Hurricane Michael called Killer Seafood, and it got completely destroyed. And they haven't gotten around to rebuilding yet, so they're operating out of a trailer. This is it. Let's park on the other side. I think we're just gonna get 2 baskets to go because it is too windy to be eating out here. Well, this is it. Got some shrimp, some scallops, some flounder, fries, hush puppies. Let's dig in. Oh, now that we're here, we have some Big Nose IPA. And we came back to the beach to see the sunset. You wanna see a cool trick I can do with the drone? I can fly up and make the sun come out again. Yeah, let's do it again. Morning, almost afternoon actually. Once in a while we get to see a flyby, which is really cool. We must have an Air Force base nearby. Actually, Tyndall is just about 20 miles away, so that must be where they're coming from. Yeah, this isn't really gonna be like a full-length RV cooking show, but we're, we decided to break out the air fryer. We're making 2 pork loins in there. One of them is peppercorn and the other one is lemon pepper. And I'm making some Goya Mexican rice here. So actually I should bring it down to a simmer and set my timer for, I believe it is supposed to be 25 minutes. Yeah, 25 minutes. Should be good. Simple meal here at Mexico Beach. Mexican rice at Mexico Beach kind of makes sense, right? The rice seems to be ready. And this one looks like it is almost ready too. So yum, yum, yum. I mean, it's almost the time. I just want to make sure that, I'm gonna cut one in half and make sure that it is, fully cooked before we do anything else. Let's just take a peek. It needs a couple more minutes. It does need a couple more minutes. Bon appetit! On this trip, except for rare exceptions, we're going to be working in the mornings and sightseeing in the afternoons. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. It is the way. Once again, we've been blessed with perfect weather. We're on our way to Port St. Joe again. If allowed, I want to take some drone footage of the lighthouse, but first, let's stop here real quick. Let's park somewhere and fly the Pelicamp. Oh, look at that water. Look at how well you can see the bottom. Let's continue towards Cape San Blas and Indian Pass. RV resort. Maybe one of these days. So this is where we are, going towards Indian Pass. This is it, the end of the road. We have the Indian Pass campground here to the left and the boat ramp, so let's park. And here's where we are, at this idyllic spot from a higher perspective. Such a narrow spit stretching into the Gulf of Mexico. On the other side of Indian Pass, we have this uninhabited barrier island called St. Vincent. It almost feels like we are in a different world, in some remote island destination, yet right here in our backyard. There's the Indian Pass campground, which, by the way, seems very nice.
Fly, Pelicamp!
Let's continue exploring, now going west of Cape San Blas. There it is, the actual Cape San Blas. And we are not going to do much in this area as far as going out to places and whatnot. You see, it is Monday, and this is more of a weekend town in the off-season. I'm actually very happy just being able to take all this awesome drone footage of the area at this time of the day under these perfect weather conditions. Let's go back before it gets dark. We're about an hour away from El Governor. Maybe we can catch the sunset from Mexico Beach? And we've made it in the nick of time. Well, good morning. Today, if all goes well, we're adding Alabama to the Mini Teeny 3 map. El Governor here, brand new RV park, so everything is brand new. That's the one positive thing,
Head
the
southwest on 17th Street toward US 98 West.
brand new laundry facility and all that. Other than that, it's kind of bare bones. That's the only thing. And the sites are super tight. It's like Florida Keys tight, which can be a negative. We were on top of
300 feet,
our
turn
neighbors.
right onto US 98 West. Take the next right onto US 98 West.
And today we are trying something new. Of course, always trying to innovate a little bit. I'm trying the tri-camera setup 2.0. If you recall back in 2016, I did try a setup in which I had 3 cameras. Not exactly like I have right now. I have one like looking back, one looking to the side. And now I have the 3 front corners covered. But I made a small error, and as you know, I have a power bank up there powering the banks, and one of the USB cables doesn't quite reach. So I'm gonna have to reposition that power bank, and then hopefully I'll be able to give you not 360 but 270 degrees of views from the top of the trailer. Alright, today's destination, Orange Beach, Alabama. All this used to be pretty dense forest, like the rest of this part of Florida, and the wind snapped them as if they were toothpicks. I would encourage you to watch my video when I was here just a month after the hurricane.
Into the sunset, drive into the west. Drive into the west. Into the sunset, drive into the west. Drive into the west. Into the sunset, drive into the west.
Now taking the DuPont Bridge onto Panama City. Now onto Panama City Beach, and here we're going to take the scenic route for a little bit. All kinds of attractions here as we approach the main drag, which is State Route 30, also known as Front Beach Road. Yep, there's even a Ripley's Believe It or Not, which, believe it or not, I've never been to one of them. Wonderworks, on the other hand, that was many years ago. It is so overdeveloped, especially compared to the Forgotten Coast where we came from, and this area here is called the Emerald Coast, mainly because of the water's turquoise color. Can you imagine this place during spring break? And let me ask you, was there a glitch in the Matrix, or did we just pass by another Waffle House? Seriously, how many do you need? I'm not going to be an RV purist here. I wouldn't mind staying at one of these waterfront behemoths, although there are also a handful of places to stay with an RV. See the color on the water? That's why they call it the Emerald Coast. Part of the reason why I wanted to take the scenic route was in order to drive by some of these waterfront planned communities, like Rosemary Beach, or Seacrest, or Alice Beach, which might be the strangest one of them all with those pyramids we saw by the entrance. My favorite is perhaps Seaside, which is here coming up. I think it's got the most character. They have all these Airstream food trucks by the Central Park, and the town was the filming location for The Truman Show. Again, we've been here before, and we'll be back one of these days. Winter is really the off-season here. We were hearing late spring once, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people. And that's it. Time's up. We must take faster US 98 if we want to make it to our destination on time. We are of course going to pass by Destin, which I still consider the best beach north of the Caribbean, and Camp Golf, probably the second most expensive RV resort we've ever stayed at. Oh, German RV alert on the right. Going through Okaloosa Island, Fort Walton, and many other towns. Eventually, Pensacola. The Alabama state line will be coming soon. Here we are, descending upon Perdido Beach, and I'm sorry to report the weather is taking a turn for the worse. Here it is, the Florida-Alabama line and the famous Flora-Bama. We'll be back in a couple of days.
Welcome to Alabama.
Thank you. Today we have a sponsored stay at Sun Outdoors Orange Beach here in Alabama. So for the next couple of days, we're going to explore the area. Weather permitting, that is. And now the sun came out. Let's make some burgers. That's a double cheeseburger. It's gonna be messy, so cheers. The weather forecast for the next couple of days does not look good, so enjoy the sunset. Well, we're gonna go out anyway. If it rains, it rains, and we'll get wet. What can you do? But let's explore the area, sample the local ales and the local seafood, hopefully. This here is called the Wharf Entertainment District, which is just across the road from the RV resort, but it doesn't look very lively today. It is late morning, and with this crummy weather, I'm not surprised that it is nearly deserted, but don't worry, we have a plan B. After doing some research, we found this restaurant called Cobalt. It has great reviews.
It looks like it might be an indoor day, so we're gonna have early lunch here at the Cobalt. Cool.
Ooh, it looks like we are the first ones here, and we have a great view of Perdido Pass.
Fly, Pelicamp! Very nice view from our table here. Well, cheers. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Hello, Pelican Heads. Today coming to you from Orange Beach, Alabama. And here we are. We came to have an early lunch at this place called the Cobalt. Look, fly, Pelican. That's not a pelican. That's a great blue heron. There's a bunch of pelicans back there. You know, the only thing, it's kind of a crummy weather day. It's raining on and off. It's kind of windy. But at least it's not too cold. So I'm not complaining all that much. We're going to be here for another... Did you see the pelicans flying back there? We're going to be here for another 3 or 4 days. So hopefully one of those will be a good weather day. And today we're going to do mostly indoor things. Like eating here. Seems a little fancy place, but... got to do it at least once, right? Shrimp, firecracker shrimp. Oh, yeah. That's the catch of the day, which is a swordfish. Oscar.
Okay, I'll move out of your way.
No, stay. As you can see, the weather has deteriorated substantially. But wouldn't you agree? That's one of the best meals we've had in a while. That was excellent. Oh, we're getting wet. Let's go. Let's continue. Well, we're here in early February, so I figured let's go to Publix. And there's something very typical for Mardi Gras that, you know, people around here eat, and that's a king cake. So we didn't have dessert at the restaurant, so let's have a piece. I wonder, is that baby Jesus? Must be, right? Very colorful. Let's hope it tastes good. All right, let's give it a taste test. Super sweet. Well, we're getting a little bit of a break in the weather here, so we're gonna explore a little bit. Besides, we have to go to the post office, so...
Right next to the wharf, we have the Foley Beach Express, a bridge and toll road to the mainland. And where we're going today is very close to the RV resort, to where we are as the crow flies, but there's no direct road, so we have to go all the way around the bay. There's our toll booth coming up, $2.75 for 2 axles, which seems kind of steep, but as I said, it is the only way. We're taking the road to Barber Marina in order to see some roadside attractions along the way. You may recall we were here a couple of years ago, but today the weather conditions are perfect to show you this replica of one of the most iconic places in the United Kingdom, and that would be, well, here is called Bamahenge. Let's check it out. Look, it's a heart in the shape of a lake. Well, if it wasn't wet, we could read exactly what it says there. It's kind of a small print, but I do believe it is a life-size replica of the original. Just that the rocks are not exactly the same shape. I believe there are like 4 shapes and they repeated them, and they're not rocks. It's fiberglass. I'm going to show you right now and corroborate that it is fiberglass. But you can read if you want. Knock, knock, who's there? Yeah, it's fiberglass. But it's really cool to be here, because in the real one, they don't let you like walk around it or go inside or even do this, like walk between the rocks, you know?
Do I fit through here? I've gained a little weight since the last time I was here, but yeah, I can still make it. And you notice now the sun wants to come out. It's been that kind of day, and they're predicting like severe thunderstorms for this afternoon. So let's keep on moving, but very cool place here. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere on the way to the marina here near coastal Alabama.
Now, there are some other roadside attractions on this road, some hidden in plain sight.
It is raining a little bit, so I'll be brief. This one is kind of hidden and in plain view, so you kind of have to know it is there. And let me show you real quick. It's a T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus, here in the middle of the Alabama forest. Look at the small little hands, and this one lost kind of one hand there, and this is a little more solid. It's not that flimsy fiberglass we saw earlier, but very well done. Look at that. We're getting some raindrops on my lens, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Bye, dinosaur. I'm getting wet, so let's continue. We wouldn't want to catch a cold out here.
There are a few more of these dinosaurs along the road, but we're not gonna stop, and a lot of construction going on.
All right, let's go check out the nights in the woods, and yeah, it's pretty soft here. I almost I don't have four-wheel drive, so at least I have two wheels on the pavement now. And they have two nights here hidden in between the woods. That's very cool. And there's another one here. This almost feels like some kind of, hunt to find this, what do you call those things? Like Easter egg. It's like an Easter egg hunt. Finding these things here in the middle of, hiding in plain view, which is the main thing, I guess. But very cool to see, actually. Let's continue. There's one more that I want to see, and then we're going to eat. Well, this one kind of wasn't in the plan, but take a look at that. Fly pelican! We have a couple of pelicans here. I mean, they were waiting for me, weren't they? This one is a little bit of a trek back there, and it's a little wet, but I do believe we can ford this. It's not a creek, it's just they have this. They put this turf here, so we can walk around. deep into the jungle. You see that bird? Wow. Here we go. Brontosaurus, I believe they're called. Very cool, and it is probably up to scale too, right? All right, very nice. Isn't this the one that, what's his face, Fred Flintstone had as a pet? Anyway, now we're gonna go eat for real. Before the big storm gets here. It's gonna get nasty later on, according to the weather service.
We're going to eat at this place called Luna's. Good morning. The weather has improved a little bit, and it is Friday, so today we're going to Flora-Bama. Here we are at the Alabama-Florida state line. Let's find parking. Of course, you enter through the gift shop. This is it, the legendary Flora-Bama. Of course, we're here during snowbird season, so the vibe will change drastically come spring break. This is one of several stages with live music. Hanging over the dance floor, we have these crisscrossing clotheslines lined with ladies' brasiers. Don't ask, it's a thing.
Cool place.
Here we are going towards the outdoor area, which is kind of closed due to the inclement weather. Here's the second floor, which overlooks the dance floor. And here's another bar. Here's the balcony overlooking the bandstand, which is our favorite place to sit down.
Let's go to the main bar.
The main bar usually has live music as well. Oh, the main bar is packed to the gills.
It's too crowded in here. There's no room in here for us, so let's go somewhere else. Even though it is red, it is a blueberry Bama Jamma. So, and we figured out a way to come out here, so we're gonna go all the way to the sand now. And check it out, they have a giant chair. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it's that soft sand that the Gulf Coast is so famous for. But check it out. Woo! And I have a long selfie stick so we can do this. Yeah, Illy's laughing at me. Not with me, at me, which is always good. You see her? She's laughing at me. Here we are, it's the Gulf of Mexico, and I want to show you something. because look at that. Can you imagine? We've been here before, but can you imagine on a nice sunny day? This would be perfect. But I wanted to show you something here about Flora-Bama, which sits right here. Flora-Bama sits on the Florida side of the border, just because at the time when they opened, and this is the story I've heard, at the time when they opened, Alabama was a dry county and Florida was a wet county, so people would come from Alabama to drink in Florida. So right here at the property line, this right here would be the state line. So right now I'm walking into Alabama. So I'm actually, perhaps right here, I'm standing in two states at the same time, which will be pretty cool, huh? In any case, you know, just that geographical oddity that we are in right at the Florida-Alabama state line. Now I'm gonna go back inside because as beautiful as this looks, it's cold. It's probably 45 degrees Fahrenheit and it feels in the high 30s with the wind and the humidity. So we're gonna go back inside and get another stiff drink. And then tonight we have a live stream, so that's gonna be cool as well. This one's called the Miami Vice. They advised caution, so we'll be careful.
Of course, their signature drink is something called a bushwhacker, and Ili is having one of those, but today I felt like having something else.
Well, Flora-Bama, always lots of fun. Now let's go back to Alabama. And as I mentioned earlier, here we are, right on the Alabama state line.
Well, we had to have at least one good weather day, right? Even if it is frigid. Even more so by Southern Alabama standards, so I requested to stay one extra day, since part of the deal was for me to showcase this Sun Outdoors resort. But I did that on a different video. Today, let's take advantage of the good weather and explore even more. The plan is to go west, to an area we haven't visited on this trip yet, like Gulf Shores, and Fort Morgan, which is on this peninsula that stretches all the way to the mouth of Mobile Bay. Also, part of the plan was to take the ferry over to the other side, to Dauphin Island, and then circle around the bay through Mobile. But they have canceled a bunch of ferry rides due to wind and inclement weather, and there's a big Mardi Gras parade on Dauphin Island, and it is bitterly cold. Too cold for an open-air ferry, so we're just going to visit the fort, have some lunch, and maybe go up to Mobile. It is $8 per person to visit the fort, so not too bad. Fort Morgan replaced an older fort, Fort Boyer. It was built between 1819 and 1833, right here, where Mobile Bay meets the Gulf of Mexico. It played a significant role in the Battle of Mobile Bay during the Civil War, and then it was used during the Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II. And apparently there are lots of things to do here besides the history, but it is so cold and windy, it is going to be hard to enjoy. Check out all those skinny stalactites. Although I do believe in this type of building, it may be called calthemite. It is pretty choppy on the bay today. As we look west, there's Dauphin Island on the other side. That's where the ferry would have taken us, which we can see right there, struggling against strong wind and current.
Well, it is frigid and windy here in Fort Morgan. It is probably 40 degrees, but with the wind it feels a lot colder. And we were thinking of taking the ferry to Dauphin Island, but we're gonna save that for a different time, for better, warmer weather. And besides, there's a long line of vehicles to go to Dauphin Island because today they have a Mardi Gras parade there that it's gonna attract a lot of people, a lot of traffic. So I think what we're gonna do, we're do the tour by car here at the fort, and then gonna have some early lunch, late breakfast. Probably lunch by now. It's almost noon, and then we're going to Mobile. Gonna go down these stairs now, and these stairs are definitely not OSHA compliant. I'll tell you that much. Very, very steep steps here. But actually, this is kind of warm with the sun, so it kind of feels good, actually. But yeah, as you can see, it's a very steep staircase. Laundress's quarters. See how it used to be back in the day. I don't know if the camera can capture it, but yeah, there you go. Pretty cool.
This would have been the ordnance storage area. Let's check out the museum real quick. There's another tour you can do by car here on the old runway, but the road conditions are pretty bad, especially with all the rain we've had over the past few days. Alright, let's go back. Let's get something to eat. And when I was here back in 2019, I discovered this restaurant called Sassy Bass. Let's go see if it is still good. Uh-oh, I think I made a wrong turn. By the way, isn't Fort Morgan like the cutest town with all these multicolored houses on stilts? Okay, here we are.
Fly, Pelicamp.
Last time I was here, I sat at the bar, but it is too early for that. The bartender hasn't even arrived. It's a West Go IPA from New Orleans. The corn chowder with shrimp is great. So is the Chilean sea bass.
Oh, that was outstanding. Just like I remember the last time I was here. It's 2019, I believe. I think now we're gonna go north towards Fairhope and then Mobile.
Actually, we decided to skip Fairhope and go straight to Mobile. It would have added almost an extra hour to our trip, and the days are so short here in early February. As many times as I've driven through Mobile, we've never actually done anything here. But today we're gonna change that. It is supposed to be a pretty cool town, home to the first Mardi Gras celebration. At least as it is celebrated nowadays, as a carnival with parades and all that. Some parts of town have that French Quarter look to them, and it definitely looks like they are getting ready for some Mardi Gras parades here soon. The Fing Street here seems to be the heart of the French Quarter, although it does not have the ambience or the party atmosphere of its New Orleans counterpart. Okay, it seems to be getting a little better, a little livelier around here, at the very least a little more French Quartery, if you will. Mobile is of course home to the Carnival Museum. Coming up here on the right is the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. Let's see if we can park for a few minutes and go inside. The parish was established back in 1703 by Jean-Baptiste, Bishop of Quebec. The current building was consecrated in 1850, although it wasn't quite finished until 1884. The stained glass windows, which are quite impressive, were made in Munich, Germany, installed between 1890 and 1910. All this interior, by the way, was very badly damaged in a fire in 1954, so a lot of it was replaced, including this recent Christ bronze sculpture. The stained glass windows, each depicting an event involving Mary in the life of Jesus, are truly exquisite. Here's a relief depicting the Last Supper, almost an exact copy of Leonardo da Vinci's mural, but in a relief. The organ was also replaced after the fire.
Yeah, this used to be a Buick factory, I bet. For a Buick dealer.
We're going to go to a brewery and start wrapping it up for today. It is getting late.
Braided River. Yeah, this is called the Hoppy by Nature IPA. And Illy is having a black IPA.
Braided River is a reference to the shape of the Mobile River Delta that kind of looks like a braid. So that's where the magic happens, huh?
I approve.
We're taking a different route back. We're going over the Cochrane Africatown USA Bridge, which also happens to be the hazmat route. I've been told you get to see a great view of downtown. Well, yeah, that view was probably worth the detour. We're also passing by the USS Alabama, which I visited back in 2019. Great self-guided tour, by the way, and we'll probably visit once again, one of these days. I just realized we haven't had a good sunset in a couple of days, so how about we do just that? There is nothing quite like a good Gulf of Mexico sunset, with the sun setting over the water. So we're going to end with that, right here in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Fly, pelicans! Which one? Which one? You. I choose you.
can't think of a better way to end our time here on the shore of the Gulf of Mexico. We will definitely return when the water is warmer. Tomorrow, we're heading inland towards Natchez, Mississippi. But more about that on the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. And 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah, I'm riding. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.